Welcome, Jose, and thanks for joining us on the first of our Real series. Congratulations on reaching your first final as Real Madrid coach. Fans are delighted, the players seem really united, but how did you feel to lead them to that?
No, I think it's just a little step. It's not what I want for my team. If you tell me that in my period at Real Madrid, the highest moment was to play a King Cup final, I would be very disappointed. It's just a step, it's the first step. For example, when I was in Chelsea, the first step was a Carling Cup final, also in the middle of the season. But just a step. I want more for my team. I want my players to be motivated with this final, but it's not possible that this final is the highest moment that we search for.
It was a very difficult route to the final and a very difficult January for Real Madrid. 9 games, 2 games a week. But if you were to put a positive spin on all those games being played so quickly, would you say that it's accelerated the progression of the unity within the team?
No, I think the team is unit since the beginning. But I think that the best thing from this period was to play 2 difficult ties against Seville and Atletico, which was not good in terms of a championship, but was good in terms of experience to play knockout rounds. We have Champions League waiting for us, and to play against Seville and Atletico Madrid is not so different than to play a Champions League knockout round. So I think it was good for the experience of the team to play the first game at home against Atletico, win. So we go to Vicente Calderón and we have a victory to control. We go the first match in Seville, we win in Seville 1-0. So the second match at home, we have to control also the emotion of that game. So I think in terms of experience for Champions League, maybe it was a good training for us.
Yeah, well, as you said, the last 16 is coming up. It's been a difficult round for Real Madrid in previous years, but they've shown quite the appetite for the knockout game. How do you think that will help them when it comes to the game against
I love
Lyon?
the knockout. I love the knockout. I think knockout is for mentally strong people, because the pressure is there all the time. The details that make the difference. 1 goal more you should score, or 1 goal less you should concede. You know, 1 mistake you make, everything can make the difference. I remember, for example, Real Madrid last season against Olympique Lyon. Probably the first match at Lyon, 1-0 result. Everybody was thinking that's good enough for the second match. Probably is not good enough. We never know when 1-0 defeat away is good enough. The second match at home, I remember Real had a chance to score the second goal. They didn't. So in the second half, they scored the 1-1, and after that, the game was over. And I think these details, the pressure of these details, is something that I feel very, very comfortable. So instead of feeling the pressure of Champions League is arriving, I'm feeling the appetite of Champions League is arriving.
Well, it's understandable. You're renowned as a cup specialist. What is it that makes you so successful when it comes to knockout games?
You know, as I was saying, knockout, you need to be strong mentally. At the same time, you need to analyze very well opponents, because details can make a real difference. And I used to play the first match either at home or away. I used to play trying to win it. Doesn't matter if it is at home, if it is away. The first match is to try to win. Sometimes you don't. But the direction you have to go is, this is the direction. Not be waiting for the second match to resolve the situation. Where is the first match? Is at home? Okay, let's try to win. Where is the first match? Is away at home? Okay, let's try to win it. So I think is a good approach.
And you've got some excellent players at your disposal. You witness the talents week in, week out of players like Ozil, Di Maria, Cristiano, Kaká. Do they still impress you, these type of players, despite your years in the game?
Yeah, these are the players that everybody likes to see them play. And of course I'm the coach, but I'm also a football lover. So when I'm on the bench, you can say I have time to enjoy also some details. But of course I build a team. These players are working for the team. And in this aspect, I'm lucky because the players in our team that you can say with more talent or perfume or the way you want to explain that talent, they are team players and they are working for the team, so that's good.
Have you been impressed with anybody in particular?
In my team? I can say that, for example, Arbeloa is the kind of player that doesn't impress people because he's not Maradona or Zidane or this kind of super player, but he's the kind of player that impresses coaches, and he impresses me.
Why does he impress you?
Because from 0 to 10, he's never 6, he's never 10, he's always between 7 and 9. You can always rely on him. He plays against many times the best player of the opponent, and he puts that opponent in the pocket. And I'm very, very calm on the bench when he's playing either on the right or on the left. Of course, on the left he can't attack because it's not his natural position, but he's the kind of player that you need in your team.
Fantastic. Well, you've managed the likes of Porto, Chelsea, Inter Milan, and now Real Madrid, some of the biggest clubs in the world. How do you deal with the pressure that comes with being a manager of such big clubs?
I don't deal. I don't feel it. I don't feel it. I feel exactly the same responsibility to play Real Madrid against Atletico Madrid than when I was in União Leiria playing against another small team in Portugal. A match is to give the maximum you can, is to try to win, and is also to enjoy. So it doesn't matter if it's a small or big one. You just have to enjoy and feel privileged to do it.
And in football, you've worked with and alongside some of the biggest names in the game, some of the biggest coaches you've come up against as well. Who's been your biggest influence in your coaching career?
I think myself. Thinking alone, asking questions to myself, studying reactions I had, studying decisions I made, studying what happened during the match, what I felt during the match, what I thought during the match, trying to find training exercises to explore some points I think we need to explore. So I think was me, against myself.
Well, nobody better to rely on than yourself. Who outside of football has influenced you in a positive way?
You know, I'm married for more than 20 years. So you can imagine that we share a lot. And she doesn't like football. She doesn't understand much about football, but she knows me well. So I can say was always a good influence on me.
How many people do know you well, the real Mourinho?
A circle of family, which is not big, and a circle of friends outside football, which is not also big, and the people that work with me in all the clubs, and there are a lot in between players and directors and staffs, because to these people I open myself completely, and they know exactly who I am and how I am. So they are the people that knows me better.
You've made a huge impression on the world of sports, on the world of football. How would you like to be remembered?
I'm not worried about that. I just want to leave on my kids the greatest memories. And in football, you make history with results. So I'm not worried about it. In 50 years, somebody will say, who was the first coach to win the FIFA Gold Ball? Jose Mourinho. Who was one of the 3 coaches to win 2 Champions League with 2 different clubs? I was one of them. Who was the first one? Not the first one. Who was one of the coaches that won championships in 3 different countries? I was one of them. So the history is made by what you do, and I don't care with it.
Then I'm sure you'd like to keep making history. What are your hopes here at Real Madrid?
Well, I give my best. When I give my best, because I trust my work, I feel results will arrive, and that's what I want. I don't want to be in Real Madrid and say one day I was Real Madrid coach. I want to say one day I was Real Madrid coach, and during my time we won this and this and this. This is my objective.
Okay, this is quite a difficult one, but one word to describe Real Madrid and one word to describe yourself.
To describe Real Madrid? Huge. And so difficult.
How about yourself?
So difficult too.
A phrase, if you were to sum yourself up.
Me?
To somebody who didn't know you.
A good guy and a very good coach.
Okay. Thank you very much for
Thank you.
joining us, Jose.